A WrestleMania dream was planned, the Texas Rattlesnake was involved, and then it was all scrapped. The story you never knew has been revealed in the new WWE Netflix docuseries, WWE Unreal. It has revealed a major scrap plan for WrestleMania involving Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, this card went under various changes. And if you look at the state of WWE and you look at the state of Steve Austin at this time, it was in flux. It was changing. You had outside elements like The Rock coming in and screwing up everything. Then you had Steve Austin, who has admitted since this event that he was only about 35% going into it and that he couldn't really work a match. Now, what we do know now from these original plans from WWE Unreal is that WWE never had Steve Austin plan to wrestle at this event, which it wasn't really necessarily the biggest leap in thinking that WWE would, right? Because we had not seen Steve Austin wrestle since WrestleMania 38, where he came out of retirement in his home state of Texas, working an impromptu match with Kevin Owens. Both Kevin and Steve has come out and talked about how going into this match, they didn't know it was going to be a match. Steve Austin wanted to keep things very open-ended. Therefore, they did the Kevin Owens show segment, with Austin making the decision the day of, would they do a match, a fight, a brawl, whatever you want to call it, or would you just hit a stunner? It really was catered down to Steve Austin. Now, fast forward, WWE, they tried to get him for WrestleMania 39. He had an A&E show commitment that prevented him from actually wrestling at WrestleMania 39, which he was on board with. Now, since then, he's talked about how he feels like his time inside the squared circle under the bright lights is over, and that's fine. But what did WWE have planned for Steve Austin this year, WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas, one of the biggest WrestleManias of all time? Well, WWE Unreal has revealed, and in this show, they consistently show footage from inside the creative room, or the creative meetings, I guess you would say. And on there are whiteboards where there's matches laid out. So you have a card for Saturday Night's Main Event and Royal Rumble and WrestleMania and yada, 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 right? They're trying to map out their plans. Well, on this board, we got to figure out or find out that the original card for WrestleMania 41 featured a non-wrestling role for the Texas Rattlesnake. The initial lineup including a singles match between Braun Breaker and Drew McIntyre, with Stone Cold Steve Austin slated to be the special guest referee for this encounter. Now, this changed. Why did it change? Well, you had Braun work a fatal four-way match at the show. You had different plans for Drew McIntyre. Now, what did Steve Austin do? Well, Steve Austin, he decided that he was going to drive a four-wheeler, an ATV, if you will, and he accidentally crashed into the barricade and announced the WrestleMania attendance. So that's what they ended up doing. Also, on this docu-series, it was revealed that originally it was going to be Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, so Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, but they added CM Punk in there. Then another idea was the original plan for the triple threat at WrestleMania Night 1 would have been Paul Heyman still betray CM Punk and Roman Reigns, but Punk would go over. So I thought that was an interesting little tidbit. Back to Austin. I don't have a problem with this idea. Austin was already in town for Mania. Number one, he's always in town because he lives in Nevada. Okay. He lives very, very close to Las Vegas. So it wasn't really a stretch to think that Austin was going to be there, right? He was even talking about how, hey, I didn't get a call, but I'm open to it. And then eventually he got a call and said, hey, I'm going there. And then WWE announced, okay, for the very first time ever, we're going to be inducting matches into the Hall of Fame. So it was his and Bret Hart's submission match from WrestleMania 13, which is a banger of a match that went into a new wing of the Hall of Fame. And that's fun. So he was already there. We've seen Steve Austin in special guest referee roles in the past. That's nothing new. What I will say is I find it interesting that they had Braun Breaker and Drew McIntyre work. okay, or was going to work. Now, Drew has been a heel for what, a year now? And you have Braun Breaker, who has gone through the ebbs and flows of what it is to be a pro wrestler, right? He was initially brought in down in NXT as a babyface, transitioned into being a heel, moved to the main roster as a heel, and pretty much has portrayed being a heel. Now, I would say late last year, early this year, he started to get some momentum behind him as a babyface, right? The fans were behind him. He was very impressive. He's a new kid on the block and everything like that. And they were going to, I assume, have Braun work with Drew. So you would have Braun as the babyface, Drew as the heel, Austin as the middleman. We've seen Austin as special guest referee roles in the past. He works just fine in those. But I don't know. It just kind of seems like a match on the card. I'm sure it would have been great, right? Like Braun can go, Drew can go. You have the Austin effect in there, but I just find it interesting that that was the idea. I would also be, very interested in seeing, okay, did Austin not want to do the special guest referee role? Was that a WWE call? I can see where Austin would go, hey, I'm not 100%, because you got to keep in mind he had knee replacement surgery in, I believe, December of 2024. So he could easily go, hey, guys, I'm not 100%. He's talked about how he was 35% physically capable going into WrestleMania. He blamed it on that was the reason why he could not miss or he could not make the stage as he was trying to drive his ATV up there. And that was another reason why he claims that he hit the barricade on accident because he wasn't 100%. Whether or not you believe that, I'm not here to try to convince you otherwise, but that's just what the man said. I can see where Austin going, look, I'm 4 months post removed from a knee replacement operation. Number one, I'm not 100%. Number two, I can't do what I need to do in this match. And number three, I can see where he wouldn't want to necessarily, test out his knee at a WrestleMania in a major match in front of, 70, 80,000 people, whatever they had. I can see where he wouldn't want to do that. Right. And even though he's done it numerous times in the past, different time, different place, different everything like that. So anyway, I don't know the whole situation. I understand the whole situation. I don't understand, but regardless, that's what WWE had planned for Steve Austin. I think everything worked out. I really do. You got to see Steve Austin at Mania. You got to see Steve Austin at the Hall of Fame. So you got to see Steve Austin. And at the end of the day, I think, as most wrestling fans would agree, I think that's really all that matters. So let me know down in the comments here below. What do you think about WWE's plans for Steve Austin? And I will see y'all in the next video.